Hello, it's Monica from Crafting with Quilling Lady and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you step by step how to create a double easel card, and you don't need any cutting dice to create it. So if you haven't tried this card style yet, it is for you. So let's create it together. For my project, I'm going to use 5 by 14 inches white card, and I'm going to score it exactly in half, which is 7 inches. When this is ready, we're going to fold and burnish our score line, and you can use your scoring tool or bone folder. Then we need to create another piece, which is 5 by 7 inches, and that will go on top of our card base. As you can see, it is super simple to create. I'm going to score it at 3 inches, then fold and burnish, and that's where we're going to adhere our rectangle later on. So far, super easy, and trust me, the whole project is super easy. So if you haven't tried this one yet, I really hope you'll give it a go. So it is time to decorate our card, and I use some beautiful design papers from Polkadoodles. Whenever I print them, I always put some sentiments at the bottom so I don't waste any card. And if you do have any of the design papers, I do encourage you to use my technique. Now I'm going to use my trimmer from Craft Stash, and I'm going to create a panel measuring 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and that will give me the brown border on my front panel, and I really like to do that. As you can see, this is ready, so now I'm going to create another panel, and this one will be 4.5 by 6.5 inches, and I really like that cloud design pattern, and it comes from Work and Play number 10, and all the names of the products you can check in the description down below. And I absolutely love Polkadoodles designs because you can mix and match them, and they're just so easy to work with. So now we can decorate the card even more. So I decided to use that gnome, and this digistamp is called BBQ, Cook and Chef, and I'll leave the link to this one as well. Actually, it is a bundle, so you actually get other digistamp and beautiful design papers, perfect for masculine cards. Now it is time to color the image in, and I'm going to use my tri-blend markers. They're always my go-to whenever I color in those images, and I think that purple really works well with today's project, because later on I'm going to create a grass, and I think green and purple works so well together. So as you can see, I'm using the darkest, the medium, and also the lightest color on each pen, and that what really gives us that 3D look. If you haven't tried tri-blend markers, I do encourage you to give them a go. I also wonder, have you ever created a card with barbecue or a chef cooking? If you haven't, maybe you will be inspired. And I have to say that this digistamp is just perfect for masculine cards. Now I'm going to use my pens from classic sets, and as you can see, I'm going to use a blender, some grays, and also black, just to give a little bit of dimension on the hat and also on the barbecue. It is super simple to create, and if you don't have a blender, you can always use a lighter color. And what I really like about alcohol markers, you can actually mix and match different brands, and they will blend beautifully. So now it is time to color the beard. First, I decided to go with some grays, but then I decided no, let's give him a brown beard, because of course we can do it, right? And as you can see, I'm using all the 3 colors in one pen, just to give me that really nice contrast and interest. And if you don't have tri-blend markers, I do encourage you to get them. And if you do know Polkadoodles, I'm really curious which one is your favorite bundle. Maybe you do have some digistamps or digipapers. And I have to tell you that very quickly there is one event coming, which is Halloween. And I am planning to create some designs and projects using amazing, beautiful digistamps and papers from Polkadoodles. So stay tuned for that, so you can hit the notification bell on my channel so you won't miss any of the videos coming your way. Also, on over the weekends, I'm going to have some Christmas makes for you as well. So stay tuned for those. So as you can see, coloring that image, it is super simple. And as I told you, I'm not going to use any cutting die to cut that image. I'm just going to use my scissors, and that is perfectly fine. So as you can see, you can really achieve that 3D look on BBQ using just darker brown and lighter gray. Yes, and then a little bit of black. Now we have to color in all those small elements inside the barbecue as well, right? And when the whole beard is totally dry, I also added some darker color for extra interest and dimension as well. So now it is time to fussy cut that out, and when this is ready, as you can see, we're going to see the clouds through it. Super simple. In that bundle, we also get some burgers. So I made some of them smaller and some of them bigger. I'm going to color in one, and then I'm going to fussy cut all of them. So you don't really have to watch me coloring every single one. And here I really wanted that 3D look. So again, I'm using exactly the same round color, and I'm starting with the darkest color, then medium and lighter inside. And this always is my go-to whenever I color in any digistamps. If you do have your favorite alcohol markers or color medium, I would absolutely love to know which one is it. And I also wonder, did you have barbecue this year? If the weather allows you, please do it, because I'm sure that autumn is coming very, very quickly. And with that rainy days, you can't really have barbecue. So if you can, do it. Now it is time to color in all the other burgers and fussy cut them. As you can see, there are quite a lot, but I really wanted to fill the whole card. So, when these are ready, we can move on to the next step of the card. And as I told you, it is going to be a double easel card because I wanted to challenge myself. And I do encourage you that you try that one as well. I really love fancy folds, and with easel cards, I think you can do quite a lot. To assemble my panels here, I'm using my liquid glue, and I'm going to attach all those mats and layers on the biggest rectangle. And then we can actually assemble it on our card base, but only at the bottom. But before we do it, I decided to create some beautiful bushes and grass. And this design paper comes from Winnie, Sandcastles, and Sand. I'll leave all the links in the description down below so you can check it out. As you can see, I'm just using my scissors to create that shape. It is super simple. You just move your scissors and it will be fine to create, let's say, a curved wave. When this is ready, I'm also going to create a grass, which is even easier. And I do encourage you to give it a go because you don't really need cutting dice to do it. And as you can see, there is very light green, but there is a way to add even more interest and color to it. And I'm going to show you that later on. As you can see, I'm creating some grass now, so you don't really need that much card to create this project. And all those design papers, they really work together. So as you can see, I'm just using my scissors and then I'm taking the excess off using my fingers. Super quick and simple. And I do encourage you to have a small bin next to you. I usually have a box from the candies and they work really well. So now it is time to create even more grass, and to add a little bit of color, I decided to use my ink blending tool, and I only use whatever is left there. So I'm not going to waste any of my ink as well. So when this is ready, then we need a little bit more grass and we can start putting all those elements together. And I really wanted to make sure that the chef is, let's say, in the middle of the card. And we do have that variation because at the top I decided to have some other elements from that digi bundle. So please check the links in the description down below because this bundle is just perfect for masculine cards, and you can create that gnome with any colors you want, which is super cool whenever you have digi stamps, right? So when these elements are ready, then I'm going to place him and see how much space more do I need. So I do have some leftover green card, and let's create more grass. As you can see, I decided to put all the burgers on the left hand side so I can see how many I can use for my project. Now it is time to do a dry run and see where to put the grass. And what I really like about that ink blending, you can actually see some darker and lighter colors like in real life, which is super cool, right? I'm using my one and only liquid glue because I do have time to maneuver the elements, and this is very crucial whenever you create any paper craft project, right? So when this is ready, now I'm going to place him, and I also decided to use some of the elements from the bundle, as I told you, and it is a bunting. But first, I'm going to place that big rectangle at the bottom of our card base we created, and this way we can move it, and it is amazing. So, as you can see, we do have that easel card. So, it is time to actually create the double easel. So, from the same design paper where the green was, I chose the blue one, and I'm going to create a mat measuring 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And I'm going to assemble it inside of the card. And when this is ready, then we have to create a panel that will go inside, and it will be another easel card. So I've got 2.5 by 6 inches, and I'm going to score it at 3 inches. Now it is time to fold and burnish it, and we need to create one more panel and also score it here. So I'm going to score it exactly in half, which is 1.5 of an inch. So we've got another easel card, which is a little bit smaller. When this is ready, then you have to create one more rectangle that will be exactly the same like our second base, which will be 3 inches by 2.5, and then we can decorate it. So, as you can see, this card is super simple, and I'm pretty sure you do have something in your stash that you can use to create it. So, the brown design paper is measuring 2.25 by 2.75, and then the blue one is 2 inches by 2.5, and I'm going to put them here to create a very nice border. Now I'm going to assemble it on our second easel, and we're going to start putting the elements together. So what do you think about this card so far? Do you like it? Please let me know in the comments down below. Or maybe you would choose different color outfit for the chef. If you would, please let me know what color combo would you choose. So now when this is ready, I decided to add even more design papers inside because I thought that white is a little bit too much. So I'm going to use exactly the same blue color here. And this one is measuring 2.25 by 2.75. And when this is ready, I thought that biggest burger would be perfect as a stopper. So what do you think about this idea? So I'm going to use some double-sided foam adhesive, so actually that easel will work. And it is super simple to create. You need to add a few drops of liquid glue, double-sided foam adhesive, and then a few drops of liquid glue. Again, now it will be time for a sentiment and also some other burgers, right? We just need to finish off our card. But first, let's create a border around that happy birthday. So I used exactly the same green design paper as for the grass. So this way all my elements will match beautifully. So I'm going to put it here inside of the card, and I thought at this point 1 sentiment is not really enough. So from the bundle, the barbecue, chef, and cook, you also get a beautiful bunting you can use for literally anything you want. And I thought that would be perfect to embellish the front of the card. But here I decided to add some burgers inside just to fill some spaces. I don't want to use it like very empty. So now we can finish decorating the front of the card. And as I told you, I'm going to use the bunting, and I decided to use exactly the same colors as I use for the chef. So basically, I'm going to use some brown and purple. And it's always a good idea to have a little bit of scrap paper underneath, because whenever you use any alcohol markers, they always bleed through your card, and then they can be soaked again, and then you have all those lines that you don't really want. But having that scrap piece of paper really makes a difference. So as you can see, I created the word party and a smiley face. However, later on, it was a little bit too long, so I had to cut that smiley face off, and I only used the word party. But that is absolutely fine, and you can decorate it the way you want. If you want, you can also write the word barbecue there, and it will be perfect. So, when this is ready, I'm going to fussy cut it, and I also decided to color in that word barbecue, because why not? And I'm going to use my craft knife to cut the inside of the B's and Q, because I really like when you can actually see the background through your elements. I think that really makes your projects even more special. So when this is ready, I'm going to use my liquid glue and assemble the elements together. And as I told you, I just had to cut that smiley face. Now everything fits, and we can put all the burgers here as well. I really wanted to create some dimension on my card, so I'm going to place them in between the grass as well. And I think that will make even more interest and contrast on the card, because you can go through all the grass and it will look like 3D. And that's exactly what I wanted. So I'm going to create some piles here and there. Have you ever created a card with burgers or sausages? Because to be honest, that was my first one, and it was a lot of fun to create. And also, I wanted to tell you that if you're new to my channel, every Monday I've got personalized projects on my channel, so you can stay tuned for that. And I really like fancy fold cards. So as you can see, today we created a double easel card. So what do you think about this? Do you like it? Please let me know in the comments down below. And there is plenty of space to write your message on the back. And it goes flat in 5x7 inches envelope, which is super cool. Thank you so much for watching and spending that time with me. Don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And here you can see other masculine cards I created. One of them is hand painted. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting!